Hey, welcome back. I'm going to do two things in this video. Um, I would like you to enroll in a program that we have. Even if you don't enroll in a program that we do here, I would like you to look at the sequence of how we're doing this, because if you try to do it yourself, which I'm not recommending for a variety of reasons you'll hear, but this will still help you with basically how to structure your year. So this is what we're doing from now until the January 18th. We're doing two things, which is there's an oriented, so this program is called Story Formula. And so there is a formula in here that I'm hoping that you'll consider following for yourself. All right, so the orientation that we use is these are just little tiny videos, like 5-minute videos, let's say. They're not all 5, but you get the idea. One is on journaling. So if you're trying to do a change process and you want enduring, you really have to get what is in your head out of your head and onto paper. So we call that journaling. There's a particular kind of there's a particular kind of planning calendar that we recommend, which is the Monk Manual. You can search that online and you can find it. There's a third thing that in this orientation that we do for our people, which is I teach question design. A lecture is the opposite of a question, and people don't tend to get better through lecture. They tend to get better through questions. So there's a particular way of thinking about questions that will make a difference. And I teach that in a little video. And then there are 8 steps to enduring change. This is again, another little video. So notice what I'm recommending is this would be about 2 weeks worth of like getting yourself ready. We do a thing that we think is important, which is onboarding. It's either like these are 1-on-2 calls. If it's just you, Lisa, and me, that's a 1-on-2 call. Logistics might make that a little complicated for us this year because we're starting a couple weeks later than we normally do. Lots of times we do the onboarding in late December. Okay, so I don't know how you would replicate that. I'm not sure. I don't think that's replicatable. Okay, so that's part 1. Now, part 2 is the way that we do this. And I just recommend that if you are trying to do a year-long change process, that you really, really, really put your health first. So in our program, we call that getting above the line. It really means confronting escapism. It really means confronting survivalism, like, I'm getting by. Yeah, is that what you really want? I'm getting by with enough sleep. Is that what you really want? Though I'm getting by with enough coffee in the morning. Yeah, but is that what you really want? So our part 2, so there's the onboarding, which happens over the next couple of weeks in orientation. And then we get right into the content. We call this part in terms of content, we call that getting above the line, which is really like embracing the responsibility to have a really good bedtime routine, a really good morning routine, especially with respect to winding up and winding down these parts of your life, which minus these, you basically can't do very much. All right, so that gets us through basically the end of March. And that's about, I think you really like give yourself some time to figure that out. It takes a little while. Then we move into, if you notice that last card had, let me put it back in here. Notice that has March 29th, and this is another recommendation I have for you. See, there's a little break in here. That's a thing you need, because if you march through a program like what we will be doing with the Getting Above the Line narrative shifting seminar, you will need time. If you do something formal like that, just assume you're going to need some integration time, because you will. So then what we do second, this is our part 3. The second content area is about relationships. We call that getting your love life in order. Yes, romantic, but really we start first with what's happening with the kids and getting narrative around that will help. What's happening with the marriage, getting narrative around that will strengthen and help. What about important others? These could be team members or siblings or whoever, but whoever's your significant people in your life. There's a particular science to good relationships. It's high warmth, high structure. So you'd learn this and then we apply it in the areas that are pertinent to you. So again, notice this takes a little bit of time. That's going to take a couple of months to get through that. And then the next thing is summer break. Summer break. Now, doesn't mean nothing. Doesn't mean school's out and then we do nothing. It means that we're not adding more content in July and August. It means we're going to be doing a fair number of Ask Me Anything Q&As. We're going to be doing implementation workshops. I recommend, if you do a year-long program for yourself in some kind of do-it-yourself way, that you give yourself some kind of a summer break. People need more breaks than they're taking these days. And then after the break, let's right back at it. So this is right, right after Labor Day in the United States, I think. Is that correct? Yes, it's so we start back up. And so for 2 months, we take a look at your money life. This is your marketplace life. I mean, this, for the most part, there's a particular methodology that anybody who's doing well in the area of wealth, in the area of, basic, Americans unfortunately spend a little bit too much time with just survivalism, like paycheck to paycheck. That's not good for us. And some of that really, I think, has to do with that we don't get the spiritual connection with money. So we open with that, and then we move into a 9-step methodology for financial integrity. And that will get us right up through November. So what you can see is there are 3 main content areas, right? Your own health, relatedness, and wealth. So health, wealth, and relationships, right? That's the typical thing that human beings want. If you were to put it in a simple little package, that's what human beings are trying to get. And if you're trying to put together a change plan for yourself, you might think I can work on one of those and not the others, but I'm just going to tell you, you have to work on all 3 of those because they're all connected, which is what we use November and December for in our program, which is the content is all there, and now we spend time with the integration of those. And the program ends on December 13th with a celebration. That's very intentional to make sure that there's plenty of time for you to have a really good holiday season for yourself without an obligation. At any rate, I'm just going to run through that again in terms of the timing. This is, I've been doing this for a long time. I'm just going to show you the timing on this, because if you decide to do a do-it-yourself, then just consider that this is the kind of timing that somebody who's an expert on change is recommending for you. So I'm recommending that you do an orientation the next couple of weeks for yourself, like getting things set up, and then work on your health first, then take a little bit of a break. It's not that you're not doing anything between the end of March and the end of April. It's that you're giving yourself some time to get those routines, implemented a bit. And then we move into relationship and really see to it that the stuff with the kids and the marriage are going well. Then take a break, summer break, and go over whatever you might be using for that. Ours are textbook based, so we send out textbooks to people so that, there's science in textbooks. So we use science, everything is science based around here, and we use textbooks. So again, you're going to have a summer break, and then most of us are hardwired to get kind of back to work. Move these up a little bit in the fall. And there are an awful lot of programs that start in September because a lot of us are really hardwired for getting back to work in September. So you might feel like, oh, this is the most important thing. And one of our current clients, told a story. Oops, I see you can't see what I'm pointing at. Told a story of that, he really came into our program because he wanted to work on money things, and then realized, well, there's an awful lot going on, with my personal health and with relationships, and got those in order and ended up with more money at the end of the year. So here's a question for you to ask yourself. Even if you could end up with more money right now, what's going to happen if your health is bad and if your relationships are too fragile to be able to sustain the work that you need for wealth creation? So that's why we put it in this sequence. So I'm just going to say it again. Give yourself a real shot at succeeding and get the content done, like by the end of by the early part of November. So you can really have November and December for integration and for having a celebration. Okay, there you go. That's how we do it around here. There's going to be a link on this page for you to enroll in Story Formula. Most everybody that I know, and I know a lot of pretty high achieving, pretty amazing human beings, most everybody I know would benefit from some active work on, I guess I can show you this again, right? That's the more map that's a little bit of a mess. I just want to show you, where are we? There's the enrollment deadline. It's January 17th at midnight. It's Dr. Martin Luther King Day, and it's the last day because we start the next day. And I don't think I have this anywhere. This is the investment if you want to enroll at the monthly rate. It's that, and if you want to enroll and just pay once, this is the yearly rate. Okay. One or the other one. Okay. Oh, and time investment. It's not every week, but if you wanted to say how much time is this going to take me, it's going to take you about that much time. That's going to take you about 90 minutes a week. The work is done during those 90 minutes. You don't have to do extra work, really. You could just come to the class. The classes, it's the same content for each of these sections. So there's a section at 7 to 8:30 my time, AM, Central. There's one at 3, I'm sorry, we changed this, 3 to 4:30 PM. That's a 3. It's an artist's conception of a 3, Central Time. And there's an evening one for me, 7 to 8:30 PM Central Time. So that's same, I always say same content, different people. So those sections, same content, different people will come to those. Technically, you can come to all 3 of them if you wanted to, but most people don't. Most people say this one is better. For this one's pretty Euro friendly. This one is pretty Aussie friendly. They're all friendly for the United States, of course. Okay, that's how we do it around here. I really will be helping you over the next few weeks make that decision by just telling you some stories about people who've already done this. All right, have a good rest of your day.